okay, patriarchy doesn't go away because, God the Father is very much the God in the Old Testament. But when Jesus comes, he comes as a bridegroom. And that aspect of like him, operating under his Father's authority is very important. But it's like they're one, so there's not a, it's not, so in some sense, everything that the disciples can see, when he's saying like, you've seen me, you've seen the Father, he's showing them he's dispelling the boogeyman of the scary Father in some ways. But he positions himself as a bridegroom. So like this is the kind of term that I came up with, thinking like, okay, it's a kenotic husbandry. And, kenotic in that self-emptying sense, which really is also the seed metaphor.
I got bad news for you. The feminists aren't going to like that one either.
I don't care. This is my thing. This is what I think. I think that
I'm just kidding with you, brother.
No, I don't know. Well, I think men need to fix the men, and then the women will get on board. Because the big problem is like, I have a big responsibility to serve her and to help her grow in that way. And so it's
be receptive to the degree to which she's doing the same thing to me. Right? That's equal level of duty.
Well, she's pushing me all the time, so that's there's no worries.
No, I said to be receptive to that. She will be pushing you all the time. The question is, how receptive are you?
Oh well, no. I mean, I am receptive. I know that's the thing. I know I need it, and it's interesting because like, once I got in that situation and realized like, because there are women that are very easygoing and compliant and have been raised in churches to act in that submission to your husband, and realizing like, oh, it would be terrible if I was married to one of those women because I would do such a disservice to them because I didn't have my act together. I needed somebody to kick me in the butt a little bit. But then that made me think about this whole thing of like, oh, well, in some ways it's like if I don't step up into the role that I'm supposed to, like God wants my wife to become the person that he wants her to become. If I'm a weak and crappy husband and she leaves me, she will probably end up becoming that person. Like, and that's the thing. It's like when, like women that are divorced and then don't want to get married to immature men anymore. It's like, they're onto something. Like they actually know why they're feeling that way. So this is just kind of going into the thing of like, obviously there are differences between men and women, and this is the thing where I'm seeing like this is part of God's design, and there's a real problem, definitely in the broader culture with like modernity and the love of rational thinking and autonomous rationality as the highest form of knowledge, and this problem of like internally consistent systems. And, a rational answer won't solve anything, but an irrational one, or, non-rational, as he says, and I think really it is supra-rational, breaks that open. And in some sense, it's like, so this is even where it's whatever men think about women is a reflection of what men think God thinks of us, or humanity in general, because that is the metaphor, like we're the bride and God is the bridegroom.
Nice.
That is the metaphor, so if you think that the woman's lesser rationality is just an inferior aspect of femaledom, like Aristotle did, and Thomas Aquinas pushed that one along too, then you have a lot of problems. It's then, this is why you have all these complicated systems of like policing women throughout history. But, if you take it as a thing of, and I think this is maybe even just also a reflection of the creator-creature distinction, there is something about women that as men we will never understand. Like, it's just impossible.
I've noticed.
And if you delight in that and see it as a wonder of some sort, then you can accept that on occasion, or frequently even, they may act in a non-rational way that doesn't make sense to you, but actually is pushing all of us towards the progress that we are supposed to be accomplishing. I mean, that's even what you see in Genesis. That's all the women doing the crazy things that seem like they're bad. And that's what drives the story forward. So,
well, the whole point is something like the cleaving. So if the feminine, if the non-rational, it's funny because we have that language. If the super rational shows up decoupled, it becomes irrational, and that actually becomes corrosive. If you're trying to run things on the basis of a doubling down on irrationality, that's not good. And the same thing goes in the other direction. And Vervaeke's notion of cognition, or McGilchrist, if you have focused attention separated from diffuse attention, you'll be able to accomplish a goal at the cost of everything that really matters. If you have diffuse attention separated from focused attention, you'll be sort of wandering around in reality, barely able to actually move things forward, and ultimately just kind of consumed by entropy. And what you need to do is you need to have both. You need to have both in a tightly coupled relationship where each one is playing its proper role. Okay, that's how reality works. And we have this at the level of human bodies. I'm sure we have it at the level of our left and right hemispheres. And presumably we have it in every, again, fractally all over the place. I find it meta confusing that this is confusing to anyone who is not just addled. So what I say is something like, if you're confused by this reality, there's a diagnosis, which is that you've been addled. Something, you've been like torpified. You've been sort of, there's a venom. Something is confusing you about reality. And the primary thing is not to worry about the kind of the problem over here, men and women. The problem is, okay, well, I'm torpified. I'm addled. Something about me has been thrown off deeply, and probably in many different ways. So how do I reestablish sort of like a stable relationship with reality, such that I can begin to have a deeper, more rich engagement with reality? And if I can do that, then I can begin, you kind of bring these more topical elements before me and say, okay, what does it mean to be a proper husband and father? Does that make sense? Like things in proper order. Because there's nothing, like it's not even like complicated. You just say, yeah, okay, there's actually a division of labor in the ontology of being, and each way has particular strengths and weaknesses, and when they are coupled together properly, and that properly is non-trivial, like it's very subtle, then it is a high-dimensional expansion of capability, which is how we collectively are able to actually navigate reality well. And if we don't have that, there's a reciprocal closure that causes everything to begin falling apart in uniquely delightful ways.